We're starting now by Yerushalmi Daf Lamed Ches, Maseches Demai. We're starting from Mishnah Halacha Dalet. Ha'omer lemisha ein neman la'maasros kach li misha u'neman u'misha ma'aser ein neman. The person sends a shaliach to buy something in the grocery store, and he claims that he got it from a trusted person. He's not neman to say this, because if he doesn't believe, he himself is not makpid, he's amaretz, so how can you trust him that he went to the right person to buy? He said, I bought it from a neman, but he could be lying. If the sender tells the shaliach, I want you to buy bread from a specific name, he says from Shimon, and Shimon is a trusted person. So I raise a neman, because it's he's going to be caught on his lie. I'm going to find out. I'm going to talk to Shimon. I'm going to ask him, did my shaliach go to you? So he has no way out. So for sure he's going to follow instructions. What happens if the shaliach claims, I went to Shimon, I couldn't find him, so I went to a different guy that's trusted. It doesn't say a name. It's the same story. It's again the same. He's in the same situation. Since he's not trusted himself, so he's not trusted to say that he bought it from Ishnem. Ton Arab Yosef. Afilu amaloi meploini enenam ach yomeloi kach ani noisem mois. He says that if you say meploini, it's not good. He says more machmed than Tanakama. Even the shaleich tells him go buy the bread from Shimon, it's still not okay. Unless he tells him go to Shimon and I will pay him money. Because that's the only way where he cannot say a lie. Because if he says he went to Shimon, so what's going to end up happening, the Balabais is going to come to Shimon, he's going to want to pay him, and Shimon's going to say, the Yishalich never bought bread from me, so why are you giving me money? So only if you can have a contact with Shimon. If not, the Shalich can still find a way out. So let's say the owner is going to ask Shimon tomorrow, did he get from you? So Shimon's going to say no. So he's going to come to confront the Shalich. Why did you do it? He says, because I found somebody closer. He can't confront him. But if he says, I'm going to give money, so where's your brains? You're going to somebody else and I should give money for Shimon? You have to follow instructions, because I shouldn't give money for the wrong person. Tanina Talmud, Blazer, it says in the Gemara in Masechet Gittin, Isha she'omer es kabel Gitti makom pleni asura lecha b'turma miyad chashin Hashem ashina shliach v'kibloi achar adelas. And the omer achar adelas matzoi. Asiyad Blazer kirab Yosi, the Yosi kirab Blazer. So it's the same. These two things are both saying the same thing, that the shaliach could always argue, I thought you're just giving me suggestions, and that's why I was makabel from a different place. Asur lechel trum miyat. Maybe the shaliach was makabel to get right away. And here also, you could say he found somebody. He found somebody, and he can say an excuse that I thought you're just trying to help me out. If I find somebody closer, I thought I can get it from closer. The Gemara says no. The Rabbi Yosi Rubim and the Rabbi Lezer. Rabbi Yosi is even a bigger chiddush. The Rabbi Lezer Shim Omalei Al Tekableu Ela B'Makom Ploni. if it says, do not receive the get, elo makom ploni, sheichaz b'truma sheyil leget lois makom, then for sure she can eat truma. However, here, afilu omelim ploni ein nemon at yoyim eloi kach when lois mos. Here, even if he says specifically, I want you to get from that person. There he says, I want only, you should only be makabel from that place. So there's nothing else to talk about. The get is not chal. If he said just a maramokim, so that's maramokim. But if he said, I want only there, for sure, you cannot do anything otherwise. The get is not valid only if you accept in that place. He said, I want you to buy only from Pliny. So I'm not sure where does the Gemara know that he even Pliny. I guess that's what the Gemara understood, that even if he says Elam Pliny, the guy can also be mishtamat and say, okay. Or maybe the Gemara thought that the pshat from Yossi is that he's choished that the guy is never gonna find out. I think that's what the Gemara understood now. According to Yossi, we say the shaliach thinks that he's never gonna check up if I actually did it. He's not scared. There, it's a fact. The get is not chal, only makom pliny. So, ela makom pliny. But here, even if it says ela makom pliny, okay, who cares? He's never going to find out that I did something wrong. The only way he's going to find out is if he has to pay money, and then he's going to go to that guy. He's going to want to give him money. He's going to say, hello, I don't deserve any money. The guy didn't come to me. So I think you should be going with it. I would say you have to be good as element pliny. A pliny. There it says, "Skabli git him mokum pliny." Mokum pliny. I would be going to say element ella. Hanichas leir. Ve'ina makeh adam sham. He doesn't know anybody in this whole town. But Omar, he says, Mika Neman. He announces who in this town is a Neman. He wants to buy food that's Mu'usser. Mika Ma'aser. Same thing. Just different ways of saying, where can I buy food doesn't have chashash of Demai? Omar Adam Echad, Ani Ein Neman, Ish Plain Neman. The guy says, a guy who owns a grocery store, he says, I am no good, but the one that crosses the street is good. Raise a Neman. So this doesn't exactly work out with the Mishnah before, because before we said somebody who's not Neman cannot say that he got something from a Neman, or to say that that person is a Neman. Doesn't say exactly these words, because before we had that if he's not Neman, then he cannot say he got it from Ish Neman. Here he's saying witness that that person is a Neman. Well, it's quite similar. But we'll see in the Gemara. Halach likich hamenu, v'amal lehem mika moicha yashin, amal lemisha shulchacha etzli. And he says, I need yashin, I need tevuah that's not chodosh. Abishin kigoyim zeh zeh ein amanim. So I guess in the beginning he wanted to buy vegetables. and then he wanted to buy grain. So the second guy sent him back to the first guy. So each one is trusted, even though he is not trusted on that same thing. He can claim that the other guy is trusted. He could claim that Ish Ploini is Naaman, even though he himself is not Naaman on this thing. He can say that other guy is a Naaman. Hachamorim shnichas le'ir. Echad mehem shali chadash chavei yashnu. Shali ene mesuken chavei mesuken. Also a similar story. Two people that drive donkeys and they sell grain, and they come in, and the guy, it doesn't sound good what he's saying. He's trying to help his friend. So it sounds like the next town, the second guy is going to try to help him. Einim namanim. So we have to understand what exactly is the difference between this case and this case, where here Tanakama says namanim, even though they're goimlin, each one is trying to help the other one. They know they're not naaman themselves, so they try to say like this other guy's going to help him. In the next case, we see Tanakama says it's no good. That sounds too fishy, that they're goimlin, means they're trying to help each other. So the Gemara is going to go back to the first thing. So the first part of the Mishnah is not good. It doesn't. How can a person come in and even more than that? He says, "Mikam ani en naaman ish plain naaman." I think more ask a question. Even if the guy you don't know he's a eid echad is not naaman. It doesn't say because he's not a naaman, or because it says ani en naaman. Even that, the mere fact that he should give information and say that person is a naaman, that's eid echad. Eid echad is not naaman. It's interesting Gemara. Usually we say eid echad naaman b'isurin. When I ask the question about eid echad naaman, the better question would be a person that's chashud. How is he naaman? It says ani ein naaman. Anyway, the Gemara answers on this. He needs to have food to eat. He's a traveler. I'm talking about a person that travels. So this is the story of this Mishnah. It's a special kula where a person is traveling from place to place, that he can rely on this statement that a person says, I'm not naaman, however the other guy is. Tana. Nechas le'ir ve'eina maker adam. A person goes into a town, he doesn't know anybody. But here we're talking a slightly different story. A person that has teruma, it's not the story like before. Not a guy wants to buy food that's mu'usr. No, rather he wants what his idea is. He wants to give teruma for somebody, for the person that's a kohen that's not ama'or, it's a kohen that's not matama. He doesn't know anybody. He can ask anybody, tell me who's the right guy. You don't know this guy. Can't ask a random person which is a kohen. If you know for a fact this guy is a chaver, you can ask him who is a kohen that you can give teruma for. So the Gemara explains, the Rabbi Glick. So this machlokes, we find a similar machlokes in Masechta B'chayros, Tanina Tamun. It says muman shenafel b'bchar. So it's a mission. It's a sugya b'chayros. Shetzichan edus. You need to have edus shaloi. Naasas b'kavana. That's what the Mishnah says in B'chayros. The Rabbi ain't roy kohen naaman klal. According to Rabbi, if the guy that the shepherd is a kohen, he's not naaman, because since he's a chashud to kohanim achashudim, person of the ish chashud cannot say any witness, cannot say that it happened by itself. So the Gemara wants to compare these two halachas. That what? Let's see what the Gemara wants to compare here. That Rabbi says you wanna find out who is the chaver you can give truma. A guy that's it's not Naaman. Just like there, Rabbi says that the shepherd that's chosher, the kohen, is not Naaman to say. He's not never to say that it happened by itself. Somebody is suspicious himself. So here, somebody suspicious cannot show you and say this guy is okay. Rashbak says no. You're not saying on yourself. You're talking about somebody else. Okay. Now the Gemara goes to another point here. Ma pligen lachalik. Avulikach avashbag moide. So this story that we had here is talking about a guy that has truma that he wants to spread out. He wants to be mechalik, bigronis. He has a lot of grain he wants to give out, and he asks around who is a kohen that's not tomei. So the chalek is Rashbag and Rebbe if he can ask a random person or only a chaver. Avalikach, when it comes to the case where you need to buy for your personal belongings, we're talking about likach means here. Obviously, the person that needs to buy means he wants to buy food that's not demai. That's the story with likach. So that everybody agrees you cannot ask anybody who is a Naaman. We had before by Bachsanai, but that's a different story. But if you don't have that special kula, let's say you're planning to stay here for a while or something, you don't have that, so then you cannot go and ask a random person to say who, and he should tell you who is the guy that I can trust to buy food that's not demai. Ma ben chalek ma ben likach kol yotze l'chiluk. So there is a Svara person is not mishaker because it's a. If I give it for the people know it's come to the goyron, and if I suggest a coin that's not kosher, people are gonna talk and say, "Oh, you're giving it for this guy." Everybody knows he's getting stuff, and then people are gonna say, "What do you mean? This guy is no good." So people are afraid to say a lie. But when it comes to a personal thing, you have to buy yourself a piece of bread. The guy is gonna tell you false. He say, "Go to that store, no problem. He's good." And then you can't trust the Amoritz to tell you where to get food that's not non-demai food. Ton hanichas le'ir. Somebody comes into a town. Imotzes yas shabnei adam. Omar mikan neman mikan maaser. Omar le'echad. A person says ani neman. How ain't a neman? The guy says I'm a neman. That's no good. A person cannot say it himself. Im omru loy shehu neman. Is a neman. That's we had already. A guy can say on somebody else. A guy can testify on a different person that guy is neman, even though the guy that's testifying himself is no good. If he says on somebody else, then it's good. Amr loy shehu neman, befanav in a neman. Shalei befanav neman. So another interesting restriction here. So even this halacha that you can say, "Oh, this guy is neman," you can only say it shaloi b'fanov. B'fanov doesn't work. What is the svara? Why? Maybe because then they want to flatter him. They're ashamed from him. So I don't know the svara of this. It says that even this halacha that we learned, that you can ask a person, even Amaoretz, you can ask him and he should tell you who is the Ish Ne'eman. He has to tell you, go to Shimon around the corner. Shimon cannot stand here. He can give recommendations for Shimon if Shimon is not in front of you. Now the Rabbi Yoina is going to explain this brayse. Beven ir b'siyas chaverim. So what does it mean siyas? Siyas. The groups. What type of groups are standing there? So if it's ben ir, means if you are planning to stay here, not for a short while, planning to dwell here, to stay here. So you cannot have any kulas here. You have to have chaverim that should tell you this. Because we said the whole kula of asking a person and should testify is only by Achsanai. Achsanai will say some words. Ima shoyli ben ir kila aksis. Kash da biana chaverim ba'at omert in front of ein amon means, I understand. Siyas chaverim doesn't make any sense here, because if it's a group of chaverim, so they're 100% neman. So why do you say b'fan of that last part of the brayse, b'fan of ein neman? Means that last part only makes sense, but b'achsanai b'siyas ha'aretz. If it's siyas chaverim, they're 100% kosher. Okay, now we go to the Mishnah of Chamorim. My time to review. Let's refresh ourselves what it says in the Mishnah here. It says in the Mishnah, Chamorim shenichas l'ir, om echad mehem, shali chodesh chaver yashin. Shali einem mesukin, chaver mesukin, einem namanim. Habido oim namanim. Kilu la'am chamorim. Why you make it? What's a beautiful shit here that you make it? We had goimlan. It's a problem of goimlan. It doesn't sound good. Each one is sending to the other guy. So the answer is because if you're not going to do that, they're never going to pass this town anymore. They won't have any food. No, that they can get stuff from a different town. They're not going to come here. Let them go somewhere else. So I'll get the stuff from that place. So this is the Chamorim is not the same story like halachic. Here is a person that's halachic hamenu. We're not talking about Chamorim. He just comes and asks. I'm thinking this case halachic hamenu is talking even about. Oh, so this is talking about halachic hamenu is talking about achsanai. Same heter achsanai. That's a different heter. But here it's not achsanai. The guy lives in the town and Chamorim pass by. So if they have different explanation, what's the time of Yehuda? Okay, now we're starting Perik Hey, a new Perik. Halakech man anachtem, ketzet maaser, noitel kedei terumas meiser v'chala. He has to take off. The halacha is that you go to a bakery. And you're talking obviously from Amoritz. So the halacha is that you have to separate meiser. So what do? You separate Trumas Meiser and Chala. What do you say? Echad memea sheyesh kan, arei zeh betzad zeh Meiser. Ush'or Meiser samach loy. 1 out of 100 should be in this side, in the right side should be Meiser, and all the rest means the other 9 parts. It's 1 out of 100. We need another 9 out of 100 to make it altogether 10 out of 100. That will be a Meiser. Now this to be close to that. Zeh shasisi Meiser, the original that I made 1 out of 100 meiser, also trumas meiser olav. This is a trick that we constantly use, that the guy, how does he masaken trumas meiser? First he has to make 100 plus 900 should be meiser rishon, and then the original 100, that's trumas meiser. Vasha'or chala, and then the rest, it means he separates k'dei trumas meiser. So he takes right away a part. He takes off from the bread a part that's 100 plus challah. Challah is 48. So the rest should be challah. Another statement: the meiser sheni with sfaina b'droima mechol alamos. That's standard. You take off meiser sheni because the mind needs to be mesuken from meiser sheni also. So that's the eight. When I ask the question now, I don't understand. Afal achala? What's going on here? Lama de la frusha to meiser gam chelik achala. Claim a lifter as achala shanoitel acher kach mebayas hadamai. What he has to correct the challah. Koloma loma loy. Might be clear. Loma loy. The second as a challah. It means, why does he have to be correct? Why does he need to do it? It's the question was, he could have taken the challah before. This Mishnah says he has to first take the meiser and then take the challah. So it means the challah has also a problem. It has to be corrected from the problem of the mai. Second challah. Why does he need it? Challah chayev is with mai. More answers. We see in the Mishnah before that if you take from a piece of challah, Kohen gets from challah, does not have to separate the mai. Why? Because since it's a double kodesh, whatever reason should be, then Chazal will not masaken that a Kohen that gets from a piece of challah has to separate the mai. So here, why do you tell the keich when anachtem that he has to separate the meiser before he takes off the challah? Meaning to say that the challah has to be corrected from the problem of the mai. It could have been just first take off challah and then separate meiser. Lama loy lahagdim afroshas meiser kedei lesaken as achala. That's the question. Why does he have to be magdim? The Gemara answers that Rabun Bechir b'Shem Rabbi Yosef B'Chanina the B'Shamai. He goes according to B'Shamai. Tana Ken Shem Yido Em B'Shem B'Shimon Chala B'Shamai Chayven Sil Paitrim. So this whole din that we had before, that Chala is parted from the Mai, is only B'Sil holds like that. B'Shamai says no. B'Shamai says that Chala is Chayev with Mai. But here he has a different question now. Klum Amri B'Shamai B'Dav Shehu L'Zriya. Did Beshamai say and a thing that's only made to soak? Ilu alekech zera behema kemach la'oiris shema in a potem medmai. Lom mechayv meshama sechala b'afrosha. Shebein kach yelech le'ibud. There's another thing here. The din is, but anything that you don't eat, you just use for to throw for the animals, other stuff, then you don't need to correct with the mai. So so how can you say Bashamai? Good, Bashamai holds that's if the kohen eats it. But here, what are you going to do with this challah? The keichman anachtem, he takes off challah. We say, as the Mishnah says, first he takes off ma'aser and takes off challah. That challah cannot be eaten. Why? Because it's nicer but tumah. This Mishnah talks in a case where a person. So the first thing Gemara says, I'm jumping very fast. They're talking about May Paris. It's not Mekabel Tumah. The Gemara says no. If that's the case, then it's B'chala not Chayav B'chala. It's not a Chibur. The Gemara says that this Mishnah we had before in the first Perik, that we're talking here, you're making it B'tumah. So we have Kain Moiki La Rabbi Yochanan La'el. We're talking here, it's Tumah. Hadi Kush Yiradichte. And King Kosher the Loi Asia Afila Lebeshamai. Elo Kreblezer. So this piece here is, I don't know, it's totally not in place. It's a hemshich from before, and I'm gonna circle it because it's not. It's a Ashgaras Lishna from La'el. And right here, you should know that this is Ashgara. So the answer is going to be that koinam sareich etzalam arz v'oichel chala partem edmai. This heter, say a nupshat, this whole heter that chala is part from the mai only talks to sareich etzloi. Our Mishnah is not talking like that. The guy is buying bread from a nachtem, so he has no heter. He has to separate the mai. He has to separate before he gives the challah. There's no such thing that challah is part from the mai. This whole het is sareich etzloi. Brings down the marshal. They came to on the ties, name of my sister. He said, Biana be Shmuel Omer. He said, Ado the time sareich etzloi. Bram and nema chikablo bram. V'hoch b'raman ankeyomen. V'hoch our Mishnah. Hoch means Mishnah Seinu. So that's why a Mishnah is very simple. That's the answer of our Mishnah. So we finished already. We did now Daf Lamed Ches and Lamed Tes and Mem 38, 39, and 40. Be'ez Hashem Yisbarach 38, 39, 40.